So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Ambleman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview, broadcast and recorded live on blogtalkradio.com from the new media and American League Baseball capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. I've always watched a good deal of TV cop shows. Hill Street Blues was must-see TV in our house. I even watched the Dragnet remake with Ed O'Neill, who played Al Bundy on Married with Children. But the whole Law & Order CSI thing never much appealed to me. It seemed like every time I tried to watch, the plots revolved around brutal things happening to kids. And I don't know about you, but once I became a parent, I had enough nightmares about my children. I didn't need TV adding to it. This season, however, I've been drawn to 3 cop shows that are more in the pre-Law & Order mode. Castle and the Unusuals on ABC, and Southland on NBC. Joining me today is one of the stars of Southland, Michael Cudlitz. He plays Patrol Officer John Cooper, a 20-year veteran and training officer. Here's a clip of Michael in action.
I'm married, all right? My wife is in St. Bart's with Dante Jr. She has this dog, a Great Dane. I don't give a about the car. Insurance will cover it. But you got to get me the dog back. Now, she comes home tomorrow. Got to get me the dog. I got some pictures of it somewhere around here.
Sir, do you or do you not want to file a police report?
I'm married, mother. I can't be filing no report.
So women took the car?
Yeah, women took the car.
And you don't want to file a report?
You ain't listening, bruh. Protect and serve, mother. You got something against me, I got rights.
Sir, you have to file a police report. We're not private detectives.
All right. I got a better idea. I go with you. We go looking around. I got some ideas where the bitches be at. Wait here, let me change, all right? 10, 15 minutes.
Michael, welcome to Mr. Media.
Thanks for having me.
That was a great scene.
I love that scene. He just doesn't get it.
And you just see, and it's hard to know if we're watching the character or the actor bite his lip more, trying to hold back in that scene. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, in this case, I think it's definitely the character, because John has such disdain for especially that type of wealth and that type of attitude. Just complete disregard for the way the real world works.
That was fun. And of course, that's from the pilot, and there's, of course, the scenes that keep coming back to that with the dog and the cars and the girls. It's a great episode. Certainly, people who have not yet seen Southland should go back to NBC.com and watch that first episode and get caught up on what you guys are all about. I got to say, first of all, congratulations on the fall pickup. That must be pretty exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very, very excited. It's just been such an interesting process, with the fact that where NBC is right now with its programming and sort of redefining itself. We really see this as a moment where they are going to turn things around completely as a network. It's really a wonderful opportunity, especially with their realigning of their Jay Leno thing. It really is not just changing the sort of the theme of what the network's trying to appeal to, which is something I think networks do all the time. They really jockey around and try to figure out what's the next new thing. In this case, they really are doing from top down, reboot of the entire network, and we'll see if that works. But I just feel like we're part of a huge change that some people are not real happy about, but I feel that they are committed to, making a difference and changing with the times, with the Hulus and the iTunes and the on-demand. They really are seeing their broadcast end of the network as just a partner with their digital stuff, and it's pretty exciting to be part of.
Well, you guys have got to be pretty proud in that you did get that pickup, and the competition, obviously, for far less spots on the fall schedule is intense.
Yeah, and we didn't know how that was all going to go, because the show came out very, very strong so far as people sampling it, and and checking it out. And then we had, because the competition came back, so strong, we had a little bit of drop off with the audience because these shows are, going into their season finales. And, I think people have a fear of commitment when it comes to new shows, because you don't know. It's like, oh, I love this new show, but okay, we have this new show. It's only going to be on for 7 episodes. Oh, and the time slot's not going to be there next year. Oh, and, we don't really, like, whoa, that's too many O's. I think I'm going to go watch the season finale of the show I've been following all year long. And I'll go catch this on Hulu, or I'll catch it on demand or on the repeat Saturday. But I think it's a hard way to enter into the market the way we did. So to get the pickup ultimately is I think, a nice show of faith, and I think we deserved the show. I'm really, really proud of the show.
Now, what do you want people to know about your character, John Cooper, besides what they just heard at the opening of our show?
Yeah, John is like a lot of the characters in the show. He's very, very multi-layered. On the surface, he's a training officer. He's a P3 training officer. He deals with the new guys when they come in, new guys and gals when they come in, and basically it's his job as a training officer to try to break them. If he can break them, then they're breakable. And once you're breakable, you're of no use to me. You will get me killed. You'll get somebody that's been on the force for 15, 20 years killed. You're completely useless to us if you can't take what you learned in the academy, basically throw it out and have what sticks be what's really there, and apply it to the street. Now on top of that, he's a hard guy. He's seen a lot. He doesn't take any crap. He takes his job very, very seriously, and he takes training these people very seriously. He's got a lot of stuff going on in his personal life that he probably doesn't try as hard as he could to keep it separate from his work life, because I don't think he really cares. After 20 years or so, he's gonna live his life the way he's gonna live it. He's seen enough stuff go down in the streets to know that the last thing in the world he's going to do is judge anyone. He's going to do his job as best he can and get over it.
Now, one of the things that's gotten notice for Southland, besides the drama and the acting, is the language, that you guys actually say the words in the script and they get bleeped afterwards. And this being a show that's online, we have different standards. I wondered if you had a favorite line with a little cussing in it that you might care to repeat for us from the season.
My favorite line. Oh, I always love when we get to run in the room, and deal with the bad guys, and it's like, get on the ground, motherfucker. It's so liberating to say that on TV, or actually my favorite, which I've gotten from my friends, is when the end of the pilot, I'm sitting bend down, I'm talking to him, I'd give him this big speech on what it means to be a cop, and in the end I say, you know what? You want to be a pussy and quit? Then quit. You're a cop if you don't know how not to be one. If you feel that way, you're a cop. If you don't, you're not. To be able to call him a pussy, because that's what he would say. That's what the guy would say. It's so liberating, and it's the truth. And I know people have problems with the cursing. Some people are saying, well, if you can't do it, then don't do it. And I don't agree with that. I think that it helps shed light on the life that these people deal with, and who they are in their private lives, and who they have to become when they're dealing with, it's almost like them putting on a mask and having to become more badass than the people they're taking down. And that's what they do. It's how they talk. Criminals talk that way. And you, for a second, I think, feel subconsciously like you're watching, almost a documentary. It kind of elevates the what you're seeing to that level. And I think that it brings you to a place where you're more accepting of what you're seeing on the screen if you're able to use that language.
And wouldn't the world have been a better place if we could have heard more of oh God, his name just went right out of my head, from NYPD Blue.
I was going to say Sipowicz.
Sipowicz. Wouldn't the world have been a better place if we could have had more Sipowicz using the word pussy and instead of showing his backside? I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah, to a degree, I think that it needs to be used with discretion. I think there's a purpose for it. I don't think it can be gratuitous. I really do think it needs to drive the scene, because I think it can take you out of it, because there is so much connected to it being on network television that as quickly as your mind says, oh my God, they just said that, that this must be real, your part of your brain goes to, why? Oh my God, they can't say that on television. So I think there's a balance, and I think it can be distracting because it is not part of the scene, especially when it needs to be, when it does get bleeped in a very important, emotional moment that may or may not be happening.
Right. Well, we're completely out of time. I had hoped to talk to you about some movie stuff you have going on.
Oh, no worries.
But maybe we can get you back another time. I want to tell everybody to catch Southland. I think it's every Thursday night at 10 p.m.
Absolutely.
NBC. And Michael, it was great talking to you. I hope we'll get you back another time. And thanks for coming on Mr. Media today.
Sounds great. No worries.
All right. Good luck to you. Bye-bye. And folks, for more interviews with TV stars, surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier interviews with the stars of Chuck, My Name is Earl, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and many more. And please think about writing an online review of Mr. Media, casting a vote for Mr. Media, or marking Mr. Media as one of your favorites. Whether you listen on Blog Talk Radio, Pointer Online, MySpace, Facebook, NetVibes, Multiply, Zanga, Digital Journal, Friendster, Orkut, Bebo, Tagged, iGoogle, Yahoo, Podcast Pickle, Vox, Folio, Mediafly, Podseed.net, Blueberry, Zencast, or Odeo. Didn't take a breath. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. Subscribe to Mr. Media in iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews within the podcast section of iTunes and click the free subscribe button. It's that easy. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always appreciate when you give up a little piece of your day to spend it with us. Thanks for listening.